Okay, hello class. Good morning. I'm sorry that our class today are going uh s- have to be online because I couldn't attend the class today. But our topic today is pretty important. Before we digging deeper into human rights, I want to ask you something. How are you today? Do you have enough sleep as last night? Is there any traffic jam on your way to campus today? I hope everyone's are safe and sound this morning without even being fear of something. How about your mental health? Maybe you are wondering why I'm asking you this question because that's uh, there is a relationship between what we do as human every single day from the day we are waking up until to the time we sleep at night with human rights. But uh, did you practice praying today this morning or last weekend or the church? So after I'm asking you this question, maybe you are thinking about the rights that you have as a human being, as a student, as a child, uh, that you possess since you were born until the day we left this world. Okay, so I hope you're ready to start this class. In our last session, we already talked about what we have to do as a good citizens, and we just barely thought that as a citizen we have a rights and obligation. We have to do this, but we get this. So, this today class is we're going to talk about human rights by the end of this by the end of this lesson, we hope that you will be able to know about the concept of human rights and you will be able to analyze the implementation of human rights, especially in Indonesia. Okay, but before we kick things off, I have some disclaimer. Today we are going to have a really serious discussion. Okay. To start our class, we can start with group activity number one. I want you to watch the video and write at least five keywords about human rights definition. Uh, there are there is a video that I link it into the description, uh, and I link it into I embedded into the PDF I sent you. These are about what are the universal human rights. There are several important keywords you need to understand. Go watch it now and come back to my video later after you watch this YouTube. So I assume you are already watched the video and at least has a briefly introduction about what are the universal human rights. So what are human rights? Human rights are basic rights and freedoms that every person is entitled to, regardless of their nationality, ethnicity, gender, religion, or other status. Okay, if you have some definition like this, just divide it into the concept you need to understand. The first one, human rights are the basic rights and freedom. Okay, basic rights and freedom. So there is a difference between rights and freedom. So, rights refer to claims that individual possess, what is it, uh, a value or a virtue of being a human. Rights can be classified into different categories like what is the basic rights. It's including the right to live, liberty, security. But what is the difference between the rights and freedom? Freedoms, on the other hand, generally refer to the absence of, what is it, interference from the others, the absence of constraints from the others to our action or our choices of individuals. It's like freedom from discrimination. So the absence from discrimination, freedom from slavery, torture, or other forms of oppression. So I hope with this discussion, you can separate and you can pinpoint what is right and what is your freedom. Do you remember at the beginning of our lesson, I'm asking you a question about, have you sleep get have you slept well today last night? Because not everyone in this world has the freedom to sleep at night without being, what is it, it's like fear of something like that. Or can you practice as a prayer this morning? Because not everyone can do that. So that's the next concept that you need to understand. This right and freedom is belong to every person in this world. Every single person, every single human being has this right and freedom, has this basic rights and freedom. We cannot read, and this possession of rights and freedom, regardless of their race, gender, or religion. So this basic human right is used should be protected by international law and agreements, as well as national constitution, legislation, or what is it. And this kind of protection is promoting equality between every single person in this world. So on this previous video you watched, there are some sort explanation of history why human rights is being uh, taught by United Nations. So there are some background, short background story about this Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It used to, what is it, at the end of World War II. Words are There are so many things happen in this world, including genocide and the abuses of human rights, and it make our global leaders, what is it, they are envision this world uh, where the fundamental human rights were universally recognized and protected. It even uh, what is it, the inspiration of the preamble of our national constitution. Jadi ini juga menjadi inspirasi dari tujuan nasional Negara Kesatuan Republik Indonesia yang tertuang pada pembukaan Undang-Undang Dasar 1945. It's the same what is it, menjaga perdamaian dunia kalau ada di pembukaan Undang-Undang Dasar. And it's the same spirit with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights atau UDHR. Jadi Universal Declaration of Human Rights, I already attached it on your Elena. You can download it and learn about what is the drafting of UDHR. As actually UDHR is adopted on 1948. It's when United Nations General Assembly, uh, its vote, yeah, it has majority vote. Or is it? It's almost every single uh, or country voted we need to agree about this united I'm sorry you agree about this universal declaration of human rights. It's actually what is a historic moment because after that every single nation that signed this declaration, its treaty, try to implement this treaty into their country. UDHR, our Universal Declaration of Human Rights, is emphasize the our dignity or our equality as a human being. So there will be. I'm sorry. I need to zoom this one, or you can zoom it by yourself. There is so many article in UDSR. You can click it on this link below. There is a right to live, a right, freedoms from slavery, freedoms from uh, torture and social security, or even freedom of democratic participation. And the most important thing is they have the rights to get education. Every single person in this world has the right to get the education. So what do you think about this picture? This picture I attached from Human Rights Watch website, the report of 2024 implementation of human rights. This is a picture of a man hugs the lifeless body of a child as Palestinians killed in Israeli attacks. It's at front of Al-Aqsa Martyr Hospital. Maybe you can Google it for a moment about this. Can you identify any specific human rights that you believe that is violated in these specific cases? How are this right is violated and how are this right is not protected, and are there any laws or policies about this violation of human rights? Do you believe that every single stakeholders, uh, every single one is trying to protect his human rights? What is it? And the next one, we moving on in onto this viral video this week. It's about a professor at Gajah Mada University that's who was the son of a sugar seller, but was able to achieve the academic title of professor. It's Professor Sarjia. I believe that you are already watched the what is it, the snippet or his Instagram reels, TikToks video about him as a child. His sister are being taken out by from her education because of her family. His family just able to fund one child education, so they are unfortunately cannot uh, fund his sister education. So, or is it happen in your community? Have been there any recent stories about this too, about this violation locally or globally? I believe saya percaya Sarjia kan saat itu pendidikan belum seperti sekarang, kebijakan pendidikan belum seperti sekarang, eee, mungkin saat itu memang semangat untuk memberikan pendidikan ke seluruh bangsa belum sebesar sekarang. But what happened now? 2024, far from when Sartia is, where is it? Try to try to pursue his degree at Universitas Gajah Mada. Jauh kan ya tahunnya. But what happened now? Is it still happen now? Can you look around to your class, di kelas manapun teman-teman berada, misal di dalam kelas di program studi teman-teman, who is missing? Siapa yang seharusnya ada di sana tapi nggak ada? Apakah ada yang tidak bisa mengecap bangku perkuliahan, misal contohnya? It's like that. These two cases is just an example. But there are really ton of cases in this world about violation of human rights. So the next group activity are going to talk about these cases. In Indonesia, human rights are defined by 1945 National Constitution atau Undang-Undang Dasar 1945 and the laws under it. Di Undang-Undang Dasar 1945 or 1945 National Constitution, there are Article 27 until 34 that define what should we do, what we have as a bangsa Indonesia, what right we have as a bangsa Indonesia. And in Indonesia, basic rights inherent in human beings, which are, this one is the keywords, it's natural, it's universal, and eternal, as a gift from God. Human rights are a set of rights inherent in nature and existence of human as creatures from God. Jadi di Indonesia Jadi di Indonesia ada satu kata kunci baru dari mengenai human rights. There are a keyword that it's not only implement in Indonesia but implement in Indonesia. Human rights are believed as a gift from God because our country is believed in the Almighty God. And this one are going to the group activity too. You need to answer. You need to discuss within your group. Just remember two cases that I present to you today. You can browse another case that you want to elaborate and answer this question. One, can you identify any human rights being effectively upheld in our community or our country, and how are these human rights are protected? And then, have you seen example of discrimination or prejudice based on factor like race, gender, or religion? And how do this relate to human rights? And are there any laws or policies restricting human rights? Can you give examples and discuss their impact? And then four, have there been recent events involving human rights violation locally or globally? How were they addressed? Atau yang paling dekat itu kemarin ada pemilu, mungkin teman-teman menemukan either implementation or violation about human rights on the national election. And the next, what can individuals in organization and governments do to promote and protect human rights? How can you as a student contribute? Every single student need to answer this question, but you can write the same answer within your groups. Okay, and that will conclude our class. Actually, thank you for taking the time to learn about human rights. And let's continue to work towards a world where the fundamental rights are respected and protected for all individuals. And this certain topics, I will talk about this certain topic again next week, because of what I just want to discuss with you about this. We need to discuss more and talking more about this human rights. Okay, so you can submit the group activity 1 and group activity 2 at Elena. uh, the deadline is next week's before we start the class. As really sorry that I need to meet you via record, uh, but I hope that this will give you a glimpse about the implementation and the violation of human rights in this world. So thank you guys. See you next week. I hope. Oh ya, nasi padang ya minggu depan. Oke, bye bye.